and people can hop on there as they go. So today, our topic for mindset stuff, wanted to talk to y'all about visualization, what it is, and how to use it to our advantage to make us more successful. So what is visualization? You may have heard of it before. If you haven't, that's okay. It's very, very commonly used in the sports world. Athletes swear by it. Successful people in business, leaders in general use it. I use it. It's a way to kind of, I wouldn't say trick your brain, but set your brain up to assume you're going to win in whatever situation is you're using the visualization for. So all it is the simple act of closing your eyes and playing out a particular scenario in your mind in a favorable way, or in a way that you want the outcome to be. So I wrote down a few kind of common examples of how visualization can benefit you, to keep you on track, to help you stay in line with your plan, with your nutrition, your workouts, your mindset stuff in general. So just kind of wanted to go over these examples and how to use the visualization in each one, so you can kind of apply that to your own life or situation that you're dealing with. So first one I wrote down is, going to a party, a gathering, a family get together, something like that. We do have holidays coming up. This is going to be super, super important, especially when Thanksgiving rolls around, when your kids start having Halloween candy just laying around. We're going to need to use this tactic quite a bit to help you stay on track. So for example, let's say that here, we'll use Halloween since that's the first thing coming up. And if you are allowing your kids to go trick-or-treating, if you work in an office where people bring extra candy because of Halloween, this is going to be something that you can do. And it's very, very simple. It's just we'll use the work example first. Every day before you go into work, you just have a little sit down. You should be having some quiet time in the morning anyway. But part of your quiet time should include just close your eyes and for 30 seconds, play out your day at work and visualize the scenario where you walk into the office, for example, and there's a bowl of candy sitting on the counter, or you're sitting at your desk and some random coworker comes up and like, hey, look, I got all this extra candy because my kids can't eat it. You want any, kind of thing. And play out these scenarios in your mind where you're going to be presented with the situation where you're going to be tempted to go off track. And all you're going to do is play that little movie in your head, and you're the main character, you're the star of this movie, and you're going to very, very confidently and proudly say no, or politely decline whatever the candy is, or you're going to visualize yourself walking past the candy bowl, sitting at the front desk and saying to yourself, I don't even need this candy because it doesn't control me. And there's just, some examples of playing out that little movie in your head where you take the steps that you need to take to stay on track. With your kids having candy after they go trick-or-treating, before you let them go out, have a little sit down with yourself, like go to the bathroom for a second and have a little sit down and say, okay, we're about to have a bunch of candy in the house. I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna picture kids coming in and dumping their candy out, and they're gonna go through it, and we're going to do the whole, well, I have to check your candy and make sure there's nothing wrong with it. I have to check for poison candy bullshit. My parents did that crap. That's not good. Y'all aren't going to do that. But, you know, we're going to do the whole, let me check your candy. And in your head, I want you to play that scenario out where you can still check your children's candy, but you don't have to pocket 10 pieces of it to eat later. You don't have to tell yourself, oh, well, I can have these couple of pieces and I'm just going to have these. And that's it. With Thanksgiving coming up, if you can sit down, or, you know, if on the way to grandma, grandpa's house, wherever if people are coming to your house for Thanksgiving, whatever you do the same thing. Close your eyes, picture people coming in, picture yourself going through the little family buffet or passing the plates around the table, and you're picking portions that you know are correct for you. And you decide, okay, look, I'm going to have this one piece of dessert, this one small piece. I'm going to plan it out, and that's it. I'm not going to go pick at every single thing. I'm not going to go back for seconds because everybody else is, and it's just sitting there. And you're going to play out in your mind and go into detail with this too. You know, picture the clothes that you're wearing. Picture the makeup that you put on. Picture anything that you can to have more detail with this little movie in your head. And that's going to just make it that much more realistic and make it that much easier when the situation actually presents itself, because you've played through it in your head already. So, you know, moving down to example 2 here, when you're going out with friends, going out for some drinks, you know, it's okay to go have some personal time and go out with your friends. But if you go out without a plan in place of you're going to have 1 or you're going to have your 2, and you're not going to have bar food, you're not going to get chips and fucking jalapeno poppers and, you know, chicken wings and other shit. If you can, it's, again, visualization. It's almost too simple of a tactic to use that when you don't do it, it's like, well, why? Like, it's like almost as easy as brushing your teeth. You know, it's just you, before you go out with your friends, it's like, okay, it's Friday night. We already know we're going out. Before I walk out the door, I'm going to have a little sit down and chat with myself. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to play out the evening of, I walk in, I order my drink. I had my dinner before I left. I'm going to bring my jerky and nuts with me as a snack in the car, and we're good to go. And you're going to play that out. And whenever the situation comes up where friends are like, let's do shots, you're like, that's great. Y'all can be done without me. And you're not going to do it. And that's just the going out with friends example. I guess he's kind of the next one. We already talked about the whole friends, coworkers, spouse, tempting you thing. The more that you play out a situation in your mind, even just a day-to-day regular part of your routine, like you come home from work, what's the routine that you go through? What are you tempted by? Play it out in your head in a different way that allows you to stay on track 100% with the plans that we're trying to achieve. And you can even do this with exercise. So exercise, or some exercises, or, you know, when you're feeling really tired and you're trying to find that second wind, sometimes things can seem very defeating or impossible to achieve because of what we tell ourselves in our head, how we play it out in our mind. You know, you like box jumps. This is a perfect example. Doing a box jump is a great visualization exercise to practice. If you close your eyes and you imagine yourself jumping up onto that box, and you just jump on it, that's the best damn jump anybody's ever seen. And you land it with grace like a ninja. You don't trip. It's the highest jump you've ever done. If you can picture yourself doing that, you are more likely to actually jump on the box. But if you know, this has probably happened if you're watching this right now on the call, or you watch the replay later. This may have happened with you where, you know, you get up to the box and you're like, I don't know if I can jump on this. And you psych yourself out, and you kind of do this little 1 foot at a time jump, and instead of a big powerful jump, you cause yourself to trip because in your mind you visualize falling instead of landing on the box gracefully. Box jumps are a great example of how to use visualization to your advantage. Same thing when it comes to lifting heavier weights that you've never lifted before. In your mind, if you tell yourself you're only strong enough to pick up a 20-pound dumbbell, you're never going to pick up a 25. But if you close your eyes and you picture yourself being this strong, powerful badass, and you pick up 25s in each hand and you throw them around and punch people in the face, you're more likely to do it. So just the overall concept of playing a story in your mind, a little movie where you do everything right, can and will actually lead to more likely chances of that happening in reality. And the same thing goes with visualizing negative things. If you sit around and you tell yourself you can't do something, or you're not strong enough to tell people no, or you know that if you go to a restaurant you're not going to be able to avoid the chips because you just love them, and you tell yourself, well, I'm going to eat them anyway. Like, visualization works both ways. You can either play a movie in your mind where you're this superstar and you do everything right and you are the most awesome person in the world, or you can play a movie in your mind where you're a failure and you're a loser and you've messed up on things before, and you tell yourself you can never do it. You've got those two options. There's no in between. And most people live a life where the movie they play in their mind is of them underachieving, never doing what they're supposed to, not being that strong-minded and strong-willed person because they're afraid of hurting somebody's feelings. Let's become that person that you wish you could be. You can be if you play it out in your mind and you convince yourself that you can be that person. So that's our topic for the day that I wanted to go over. The power of visualization, and then combining this with what we talked about a couple weeks ago, the ability to say no. Pairing those together, practicing and visualizing yourself saying no. I can't say that word for some reason. Visualizing yourself saying no to temptations, or saying yes to healthy decisions, like visualizing yourself saying yes to yourself to commit to extra workouts during the week instead of talking yourself out of it. So yeah, that's our topic. Hope that made sense to you. Does that make sense? Like, visualization is very simple. It's very easy. It's just you playing a movie in your mind, but it's very underestimated in how it can impact you either negatively or positively. And the stories you play in your head do dictate the outcomes of your life. So let's play good stories, good movies where we do everything right. We are the superstars of our little imaginary world, and that will translate into reality here in the physical world. At least that's what I tell myself, and why one day I will be Batman. So y'all watch.